Hello from the Columbia River Gorge. Today I'm exploring historic Highway 30 in the beautiful Columbia River Gorge, thanks to Bike the Gorge. Bike the Gorge offers both guided and self-guided e-bike tours where you can ride along the historic Columbia River Highway State Trail, checking out all the waterfalls and cool spots along the way. The State Trail runs along historic Highway 30 from Troutdale to the Dalles and consists of 3 disconnected, car-free segments. The tour I'm going on is the most popular guided tour. It's called the Waterfalls and Waterfront Guided Tour. This tour takes you to 5 waterfalls along one of the eastern sections of the trail between Wyeth and Viento State Park. The waterfalls we'll see include Emerald, Lancaster, Hole in the Wall, Cabin Creek, and Starvation Creek. My guides for this tour are the amazing Emily and Dutch. Before we got started, Emily gave a great overview on everything I needed to know about the e-bike, how to put the helmet on, how everything worked, how to do the pedal assist and the throttle. She showed me how to use the phone holder and the speedometer, how to change gears. I had never been on an e-bike before, so I was a little intimidated, but she made it so easy, and Dutch did a great demonstration of how to get going and stop. From our meeting spot, which is just across the highway from the Wyeth campground, it only took us a couple minutes before we reached the car-free section of the trail. Once we got going, I got a little bit more comfortable on the bike, and it was actually pretty easy to ride, and we got going pretty fast. There are parts of the trail where you can see Interstate 84, but the views are so amazing. Our first stop was a short hidden trail that took us to an amazing viewpoint for the Wind Mountain overlook. And it seemed like the further down the trail we got, the prettier the views were. Just a few minutes down the trail was our second stop, Hole in the Wall Falls. We've stopped at Hole in the Wall Falls, and we're going to do a short hike up to Lancaster Falls. Hole in the Wall Falls is the newest waterfall in the Columbia River Gorge. It's actually man-made, and it was created from a blast by a maintenance crew. The hike up to Lancaster Falls is pretty short, and the trail is well maintained, but it is a bit steep. Once you gain some elevation though, those views are amazing. The views on the return hike were even more breathtaking, and we got to see a few wildflowers. Something I really enjoyed was that the helmets had Bluetooth, so the entire time we were riding, Emily was able to tell us facts about the things that we were seeing. Our next stop was Cabin Creek Falls, and from where we parked our bikes, it was a very short walk to get up to the waterfall. The trail was a little crumbly, but totally safe, and it was really cool looking. This is one of the waterfalls that you can actually touch and dip your feet in if you want. As we got closer to Starvation Creek, we did start seeing more people, and this was actually the first place on the trail where it felt like we were in the Columbia River Gorge for the amount of people there were. Up until this point, we had been pretty much the only ones on the trail, which was amazing. Just a few minutes down from Starvation Creek, we exited the bike-only section of the trail and headed over to Viento State Park. We went through the campground, which is a really nice-looking campground if you're looking for somewhere to camp, hit one of the back trails, and went out to the waterfront. Wow, it looks so pretty. So the reason the tour is called Waterfalls and Waterfront is because we stop at the waterfront of the Columbia River. The Columbia River is known for kite surfing and big winds, but there was none to be had today. It was absolutely beautiful. On the way back, we didn't make any stops because we had stopped everywhere on the way out. So we got some high speeds going and zoomed past some of the sites we had already seen, but the scenery on the way back is actually different because you're looking a different direction, and it was beautiful. Emily pointed out some state trail markers, and we did have a little Bluetooth trouble, but we just stopped and reset them, and then they were good to go. Stopping also let us see these beautiful birds. When we got back and parked the bikes, we were visited by some cool looking butterflies that were just all over us. We've just finished up with the e-bike tour, and we ran out of time because we were having so much fun checking out all the little spots along the way that we didn't make it to Emerald Falls. So we put the bikes up, and I am currently walking through Wyeth Campground, which is where the trailhead is, and I'm going to do the short little 15-minute one-way hike up to Emerald Falls. It is crazy to me that I'm in the Columbia River Gorge right now, and it is completely silent. There are no people. That hardly ever happens. That is one thing that I have really enjoyed about this e-bike tour. It's not in the most popular area of the gorge. It's out a little bit, which actually works out great because there's not the crowds. You get nice and quiet. And I've seen waterfalls and trails that I didn't even know existed before today. Also, something I really loved about the tour is we took a lot of time because you get to decide how much time you spend at each place. It's not necessarily predetermined by the guide. The guide works with you. You get to see what you want to see. If you don't want to stop, you could skip things. It makes it really flexible. You also have that flexibility on a self-guided tour, but I did really enjoy having Emily and Dutch with me. Emily was hilarious. I loved her, and she had a lot of knowledge. She lives in Cascade Locks. She knows a lot about the area, and I learned a lot from her. But I think either way, doing the guided tour or the self-guided tour, you really can't miss. This was an absolutely incredible day. The hike up here was just half a mile, super easy. The falls are beautiful, totally worth it if you have time after your e-bike tour. And now I'm gonna hike back down because I have a timed reservation at Multnomah Falls. If you want to stop at Multnomah Falls starting this year, you do need a timed entry permit. You get them online in advance. I got mine the morning of. It was $2. They check it as you walk in, and then you're free to explore. While you're here, you can hike up to this bridge, and there's actually hikes, I think they're open right now, that go up towards the top of Multnomah Falls. I just had time for a quick stop today, so I'm not doing that. I just wanted to look at the falls because I love stopping when I drive by. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe so you never miss a thing. I will see you in the next one.